Hi, my name is Geronimo Barrera. I am the game director on Nekome Nazi Hunter.
I'm Kay Willis, and I am the producer on Nekome Nazi Hunter. And we're going to be answering some of your questions today.
About how long is the main story? We are aiming for an 8+ hour experience. This is always hard to estimate because there's always going to be a speedrunner out there who does it super quick. But our thing is that we want to give value to the player, not just through a long storyline, but also replayability and lots of things to explore and find in our games.
How's the replay value? Is the story more linear, or will there be challenges / routes to add to the variety of gameplay? The game flow is linear, but with some areas being more open-ended. Also, there are multiple routes through most levels. Challenges are found in each chapter, which is what we call our levels. And our design goals are to make our gameplay systems deep so that it allows for multiple playstyles and ways to approach each chapter. Will there be high-value targets to go after? Yes, this is actually part of our narrative, which we will share more with you as we go along. But along the way in the game, you will get new objectives and targets. Will there be New Game Plus? We are designing the game with replayability in mind. Each chapter has your main objectives and side challenges, and we want players to replay chapters to beat the challenges. We officially haven't locked down on a Game Plus, but if we see an opportunity to add Game Plus in a meaningful way, we will.
Will the story just consist of his family getting killed and then go kill Nazis? Now, for most people, that would be enough. I agree with that. But how are you going to cater to the player who prefers a story-driven experience? We have an award-winning narrative team creating a compelling story that takes you on a journey that will be totally different for the genre. We're going to have more on that later, so stay tuned. Punished Lemon Jack asks, in terms of gameplay, is this full action or what? In the screenshot, there's scenes of the protagonist kind of skulking around as well as in combat engagement. Does this game lean into one of these things or both? I totally understand this question. It's very meaningful. It's actually a very great question, and it is fun to answer. We want players to play this how they want to play it. The systems, combat and stealth, are intertwined so that you can lean into them how you want. But I guess to answer it's up to you. Are there going to be areas where we want the player to do more stealth than combat? Yes. Will we allow them to enter it into combat as a combat section? Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to be harder. We're definitely leaning on our system-based design to be able to handle different player stats. The hand-to-hand and environment combat look amazing. Thank you. But how will gunplay work? Guns do play a role in combat in our game. Enemies will carry guns, and they will shoot at the player given the opportunity. Players can pick up guns and use them in a similar way as most third-person action games use guns. That said, we didn't set out to make this a gun game. This is a, very close quarters, intimate combat. But, guns were a reality back then, so we've built them into the game design. They aren't the focus, and we initially set out to design specifically around this. For example, shooting guns will spawn more enemies. They're attracted to the sound and the chaos. Also, guns don't have an ammo counter when you pick them up, so you don't really know how many bullets you're going to have. So you're really taking a chance on, is this going to be worth me taking out, one or two, maybe three guys? So it's up to the player to kind of take that risk. That said, if you are using stealth, you might be able to turn the gun around on an enemy and have them accidentally shoot themselves.
Is the combat going to be repetitive, or will it evolve throughout the course of the story? Okay, so we are building a robust combat system that is enhanced by the progression system. You unlock new moves throughout the game. Completing certain combat challenges also gives you new abilities, or it can boost stats.
Sai the Floof asks, will there be grappling and counters in combat, or mostly striking and slashing attacks? We're building this around a strike system with parries and counters and combos, finishers, environmental kills, weapons. So it's going to be fairly robust. I think players will have a lot to explore and lots of variety. Is there anything you guys have specifically made for this game that sets it apart from others that you guys are very proud of? There are 3 systems that work in tandem in our game that we're really excited about: focus, fear, and notoriety. This dynamic trio opens up for many variants for strategy. Focus is earned from takedowns in combat and stealth kills. Focus Strike gives you the chance to pick out high-value targets that can instill fear into certain enemies, changing their behaviors in a dramatic way. Like, let's say, an officer versus a grunt, in order to get the grunts to get scared because you just stabbed their commanding officer in the neck, and that sets off a chain of events that feeds into your notoriety that unlocks new things that you can do that changes the way that you're playing out the level.
Will there be dismemberment?
Yes, we want dismemberment.
Hopefully, yes. Will there be environmental kills? Yes. Will there be boss fights? Thank you, Al Capone. Excellent name. Yes. Yes, there will.
I think that's Al Cowpone.
Al Cowpone. Excellent username. Will there be alternative outfits for our Stabby Boy? Excellent use of Stabby Boy. We have costume changes along the story, but still, we're not sure if we will have the feature to be able to change into different outfits. Maybe as we get closer to release and we have time, this will be a cool feature. We want to make sure that we're listening to the community, so these kinds of questions are fantastic, and we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, if you guys like really want these features, like just comment in our Discord or on our social medias. We're watching, we're listening. What games and movies influenced the team? The genesis of making this game started with a meeting inside of ProbablyMonsters where our CEO started quoting lines from Inglourious Bastards, and somebody thought it would be a good idea to try to make a game about hunting down and killing Nazis. So shortly after that, I got involved, and I came in with obviously a love for the Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, but I was also a huge fan of Sisu. I had just watched that not too long before I got this call to think about making a game about hunting Nazis. Coincidentally, that year was also the release of the Department of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which again, a great film about that era and dealing with Nazis and the way they should be dealt. Dating asks, what games are you drawing inspiration from when it comes to the gameplay? Man, there are so many. Sifu, Shadow of Mordor, Splinter Cell Conviction, Manhunt, The Warriors, which was a couple games that I worked on, Sleeping Dogs, Batman, Arkham Asylum. I mean, there's so many, but ultimately we are making something wholly unique. And although we're inspired by these titles, we needed to bring something new to the table. And so that's kind of where we've designed sort of a unique core loop for our game, which is a balance of stealth and combat that hasn't really been done before. So we're pretty excited to get this into players' hands. Hey, we want to thank everybody who sent in their questions. We definitely want to do more of these, so please submit more questions in our Discord. Kay, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Let's go kill some Nazis.